Protect mental health, be a self-starter. Series 2, Be the master of our brain. Episode 3, Our extraordinary brain. What makes our brains so remarkable? As per the newest research in neuroscience, I have pinpointed at least 5 main sources of strength that empower our brain to reach its full potential and experience an exceptional life in a volatile environment. These 5 sources of strength are: 1. Rich mental capital. 2. Sophisticated brain networks. 3. Self-healing. 4. Neuroplasticity. 5. Flexible learning and doing. Rich mental capital and sophisticated brain networks. In the first 2 episodes, we touched on the 2 powerful sources, namely rich mental capital and sophisticated brain networks. A 3-pound brain has 100 billion neurons that can connect with one another automatically to form a large and sophisticated brain network. During adolescence, the brain automatically prunes and streamlines synapses, making network connections more precise and faster. With these 2 gifted abilities, we can perform effectively to meet the demands in our daily lives. Self-healing. The third power in our extraordinary brain is that the injured brain has the ability and potential to heal itself. For example, in a car accident or a stroke, in the old days, it was thought that when nerve cells die or are damaged, we can only use the remaining nerve cells to continue living. However, over the past 2 decades, neuroscience research has found that when synapses disappear due to injury, surrounding neurons repair lost functions. Through compensatory regeneration, they try to re-establish new connections and allow our brain networks to continue to function normally. As a result, people with brain trauma have the hope of recovery. Neuroplasticity. The 4th brain power is neuroplasticity. Neuro refers to our neurons, and plasticity refers to the high degree of adaptability and elasticity of neurons. From birth to death, our brain cells have a very high adaptive capacity, and we can reconfigure our brain in response to dynamic changes in our living environment through learning and practice. Around the mid-20th century, Carl Lashley, a well-known American psychologist, conducted a study to see if mice could live as usual if they lost about 90% of their cerebral cortex. The study found that although the mice lost about 90% of their cerebral cortex, they were still able to find food in the maze. The research team concluded that when mice practice in the maze through their usual practice, they will produce many synapses according to all the senses, and each part of the brain affects each other, forming multiple overlapping sensory associations. The sensory association creates new axons, forming new synapses that receive information from other senses. Hence, although mice lost 90% of their cerebral cortex, they could rely on the information and cues that still exist, and then use new synapses to help rebuild new networks to find food. Flexible learning and doing. The 5th brain power is the ability to learn and use it with flexibility. Studies have found that when we keep learning new skills, our brain networks will continue to be reset and expand with increased efficiency. For example, in recent times, a neuroscience research team of the University of California studied the relationship between learning new skills and brain development. They trained 7 monkeys to forage with their fingers. The team put small banana-like particles in small cells of different sizes. The monkeys were skillful in locating the food particles after some attempts. The research team examined the neuroimaging of the monkeys' brains and found that learning new techniques would change their brains. They concluded that the somatosensory cortex in the monkeys' brains enabled the monkeys to build a new network with other brain regions. Hence, the studies show that if we are willing to learn new things or let ourselves do familiar things in new ways, our brains are stimulated and develop the ability to adapt to the changes in our living environments. Summary. In this episode, we explore the 5 sources of strength that make our brain remarkable. There is no doubt that we live with stress and are tested by unforeseeable hardships in our lives. In the face of an unknown future, we must trust that we are gifted with brain power that helps us rewrite our lives. Author, Dr. S.B. Chan, Doctor of Psychotherapy and Counselling, University of Edinburgh, UK. Master of Mental Health, the Chinese University of Hong Kong. Master of Psychiatry, Cardiff University, UK. The 10th of February 2023.